From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
The fate of thousands of Syrian refugees is up in the air. We'll talk to some right here in Arizona about why they fled and Governor Ducey's efforts to stop more from relocating to Arizona.
Plus, the term alien is meant to describe foreigners and undocumented immigrants, but some say it's time for that word to change.
And a Senate committee hearing discussing wildfires and what needs to be done in the future to prevent them and put them out.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Sydney Glenn.
And I'm Audrey Wheel. Thanks for joining us. In the aftermath of the Paris terror attacks, governors from across the nation are voicing their opposition to President Obama's plan to resettle thousands of Syrian refugees in the U.S. One of those is Arizona Governor Doug Ducey. He joined other governors this afternoon for a White House briefing on the refugee situation after calling for the federal government to listen to the state's recommendations and concerns before placing any more refugees. The opposition to refugee settlement comes after it was revealed that at least one of the suspects in the Paris attacks posed as a refugee to get into Europe. State governments can't control immigration, only the federal government has that authority, but the states can limit or deny services to refugee populations.
Arizona Senator John McCain released a statement on the situation, saying it is clear that in the aftermath of the terrorist attacks in Paris, the federal government must provide greater assurances to state and local officials and to the American people that there is an effective process in place to vet Syrian refugees and protect our national security.
As opposition to allowing more Syrian refugees into the country grows, some protesters in Arizona are showing their support for Syrians seeking a safe haven. Protesters gathered at the state capitol, calling on the governor to reconsider his decision. Cronkite News reporter Erica Lang has the latest.
About 24 protesters showed up at the Capitol with a message for the governor. Arizona should not turn its back on refugees fleeing violence in Syria.
Ducey, we reject your racism!
About 24 human rights activists gathered outside the Capitol. They're protesting the governor's announcement that Arizona should not accept any more Syrian refugees.
We reject your racism, Ducey!
It came after the terrorist attacks in Paris.
Oh, well, this happened in Paris, so we don't want anybody in Phoenix, or we don't want anybody in Arizona. And I'm sorry, but that just screams racism and xenophobia.
Protesters argue many of the refugees are fleeing terrorism and violence back home.
They're children, they're women. You see images of babies floating up onto the ocean, onto the beaches. And those are the people that are fleeing.
Now, it's not clear whether the governor's decision will make any real difference because it's ultimately the federal government that decides who gains refugee status and where they resettle in the United States. But that didn't stop protesters from trying to reach the governor. They marched to his office and demanded to see him. A staff member said he was not available. They left without a meeting, but felt they got their message across. So far this year, Arizona has accepted about 112 Syrian refugees. In the broadcast center, Erica Lang, Cronkite News.
Some members of Congress want the federal government to stop using the word alien to describe immigrants in the country. A bill introduced by Congressman Joaquin Castro might just do that. As Cronkite News reporter Genesis Monserrati shows us, some in Arizona are in favor of the change.
The first time that Maria Cisa was called an alien, she was applying for a job in Arizona.
That really, shocked me.
Alien is an official term used by the federal government. It refers to foreigners, both legal residents and undocumented immigrants.
It says you're basically a foreigner, you're an unknown thing to us, and we don't see you equally to us. So you're different, you're like an alien to us. And in my eyes, I'm not an alien, I'm a human.
Cisa, who is from Argentina, finds it offensive. So does Congressman Joaquin Castro of Texas, who introduced the Change Act. The letters in the word change stand for correcting hurtful and alienating names in government expression. The Change Act would eliminate the term alien from federal law and substitute it with undocumented foreign national. 66 Democrats are co-sponsors, including Arizona Representatives Rubén Gallego and Raúl Grijalva. Some media organizations, including the Associated Press, have stopped using alien in stories. Journalism students who are also border residents agree with eliminating the term.
I think it's a harsh word, and I think if there's a better word for it, I think people should use it.
When I think of an alien, I think of something out of a movie, like a monster that comes to our world to destroy the human race is basically what I picture.
Those who find the term alien offensive say it represents a bigger issue. CISA also works to increase Hispanic voter registration.
Either way, we're still going to keep fighting. Our battle is more than just a word, so I'm hopeful.
In Phoenix, Genesis Monserrati, Cronkite News.
There is no time frame for when or if Congress will take action on the Alien Change Act.
A bill with the potential to block a casino project in Glendale failed in the U.S. House of Representatives. H.R. 308 would have barred gambling at the nearly completed casino, but failed to get 2/3 of the votes in the House on Monday. The bill was sponsored by Arizona Representative Trent Franks. Arizona Representative Raúl Grijalva, who opposed the bill, released a statement after the vote, saying, "Courts have consistently found this casino is legal, and the Tohono O'odham have acted appropriately in developing it. It has already created construction jobs and is on the threshold of significantly improving the Tohono O'odham economy. It's time to drop this special interest giveaway once and for all and move on to real business."
Nearly 2,000 Arizonans who were students of a for-profit college chain will receive $2.7 million in student loan forgiveness. EDMC is one of the largest for-profit colleges in the nation and agreed to forgive more than $102 million in outstanding student loan debt nationwide. Phoenix is home to 4 EDMC schools and 2 others are located in Tucson.
Arizona's wildfire season was mild this year, but other places in the western part of the country were not as lucky. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Elizabeth Blackburn was at a hearing today that discussed this year's wildfire season and how to improve for the seasons to come.
Senators said the way the government fights wildfires now is economically, ecologically, and socially unsustainable, and it's going to get worse if things don't change.
Each year, the wildfire season seems to include new worsts and historical records. For its part, 2015 has been marked by a relentless wildfire season that has stretched nearly all year.
The federal government spent $4.2 billion on wildfire management this year, but half that amount went to fighting fires after they started. Those at the hearing said that the money would be better spent preventing fires than fighting them.
Despite knowing the value of fuel reduction treatments in mitigating wildfire risks, increasing firefighter safety, and restoring the health of our forests, active management is still often met with a series of discouraging and near insurmountable obstacles.
In Northern Arizona University, Professor Wally Covington says there needs to be more prevention because the wildfire season is growing and the conditions are changing.
And so what we're seeing now is more severe fire behavior, droughts that are really dry, and wet years that are really wet. During the wet years, we accumulate fuels. In the dry years, we burn them up.
He says Arizona is a vulnerable state, and he is pushing for change because he expects the problem to get worse.
It's all been forecast that this would happen, and with the complication of climate change, it's just accelerated it.
Covington said climate change is having the biggest impact in the north on wildfires in Alaska and British Columbia, and in the south in Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California. But he expects the gap between north and south to close as conditions worsen. Reporting in Washington, D.C., Elizabeth Blackburn, Cronkite News.
More people each year are dying from drug overdoses than car crashes and firearms.
And the rate of heroin overdoses is climbing even faster. Coming up on Cronkite News, we'll talk to one family who lost their son to an overdose just 2 months ago.
Growing up, my family had no real idea of where we came from. It's kind of like being in a fog because you feel like a piece of you is missing. what is the rest of my story? I saw African American Lives on PBS. I love the series, and there was a DNA kit that you could order to find out your African ancestry. And so I really got excited. My DNA results said that I was from Ghana. Wow. It just really opened me up to a whole new world, so I went ahead and started doing things. Now my mission is to write stories to have something to pass down to the next generation. It's important to know where you're from and to tell your children, teach them that. PBS helped me to go on a journey to discover who I was, and that journey will never end.
The latest National Drug Threat Assessment released last month says drug overdose deaths are now the leading cause of injury death, outpacing motor vehicle and firearm deaths. Cronkite News reporter Sonny Scott talks with one Scottsdale family who lost their son to a heroin overdose 2 months ago.
The Federal Drug Enforcement Administration reported last month that heroin overdoses are increasing at a far faster rate than those associated with other illicit drugs, a pattern likely to continue because heroin is relatively cheap, easy to get, and highly addictive.
He was just full of energy all the time. It kept us on our toes. He pushed things to the limit all the time. He had a presence about him, and people were drawn to him. And that's why he had so many friends.
David Richter was supposed to leave for drug rehab on the 17th of September. Instead, just 1 day before he was set to get help, he was found dead in his apartment after overdosing on heroin. He was 23.
The drug is more powerful than the person. People don't understand that with heroin, how addictive and strong it is.
David had relapsed 13 times and been treated in multiple rehab centers.
I learned to detach myself away from the emotional part, but every time he did relapse, it was hard because I always had that fear that this would happen, that, you know, I would get this phone call that he didn't make it this time.
Mary and her ex-husband Joe repeatedly tried to reach their son the day he died.
He would always get back to me within 5 or 10 minutes. I'm sleeping, I'm working out, I'm doing this, and he never did. And, you know, and that's when I knew something was up.
His roommate, Paul Langford, also a recovering addict, found David dead.
And I got up in the morning, and when I was leaving to go to work, on this table, there was a needle. And so I just went, I just left it, I went to work. And about 9 o'clock, 9:30, I started calling him every 20 minutes.
He decided to go back home and check on him.
And so I walked up the rest of the room, and I looked to the left, and laying halfway out the bathroom door, David was there on his back.
Corinne Fort, his girlfriend, says he was shooting up the night before.
I think I was somewhat frustrated because he'd just been up all night, and it was just a hard thing to see. It was a hard thing to see him like that. It hurt my heart to see him like that. And but I know I kissed him goodbye, and I left for work. I'm gonna miss him every day.
Paul says he and David were best friends, going to concerts and doing anything to live a sober life.
I've never had a friendship like that with anyone. I've never been as close to anyone in my life as I was with David.
Paul had encouraged David to go back to rehab.
It's one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through.
Corinne and David met through mutual friends at a Heroin Anonymous retreat.
He would always unintentionally do things that just made me happy.
He left notes on their bedroom wall and on the kitchen chalkboard.
He wrote this for me the Monday before he passed.
He would say, "I'm not afraid of death, but I would never let it go that far. I'm not that stupid," but of course he didn't have any control over that, right?
Clips from this video, provided by his mother, chronicle David's life, one of hundreds of lives in Arizona lost to heroin.
It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
According to the DEA drug assessment report, an average of 120 people per day die of a drug overdose and are likely to increase. For more multimedia coverage on the impact of heroin, how families and law enforcement agents are coping, and to watch our full investigation, go to hookedaz.cronkitenewsonline.com. With the investigative team, I'm Sonny Scott, Cronkite News.
After many years, these native Arizona animals are being put back where they belong.
Coming up on Cronkite News, the steps 2 organizations are taking to put these lost creatures back into their natural habitat.
Support 8 Arizona PBS is by becoming a sustaining member. Your monthly contribution of $5 or more comes directly from your bank account or credit card, so you know your membership is always current. It also means no more renewal notices in your mailbox. So more of your dollars go to the programs you love. It's convenient for you, greener for us, and better for the planet. Become a sustaining member today.
Tap into the art scene from coast to coast. Join the Art Beat Nation, a weekly series where you'll experience a rich cultural tapestry of art stories from across America. Meet artists, writers, composers, and performers setting the pulse of the arts in America now. Join us for a brand new episode of Art Beat Nation. Sunday at 5 on 8HD. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Watch us online.
Your favorite PBS shows, ready to watch when you are. Anytime, any place. Find more ways to explore than ever before.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse.
TV's played Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
29 bighorn sheep now have a new home in the Catalina Mountains north of Tucson. The release was due to a partnership between the Arizona Game and Fish Department and the Bighorn Sheep Society. Reporter Julia Thatcher was in Tucson to see the release firsthand.
I'm standing at the base of the Push Ridge Complex in Tucson, Arizona, the location of the third and final release date set by the Arizona Game and Fish Department and Bighorn Sheep Society, all in an effort to release bighorn sheep back into an area where they once thrived. 25 years ago, these mountains were once packed with bighorn sheep.
The old-timers remember it well and do so with a gleam in their eye.
And now, once again, thanks to the Arizona Game and Fish Department and the Bighorn Sheep Society, new generations can see these animals back in their old home. The two departments captured the sheep near Yuma over the weekend.
For years and years, there wasn't any sheep left in the Catalinas. Nobody knows why. This effort is to reestablish that herd.
It started early in the morning, the drive out to the area where the sheep would be released. Loaded on a trailer, workers from both departments prepared to open the doors. The first release, and the sheep scattered. Onlookers waited patiently as the trailer got turned around for the second release. The doors opened, but the sheep didn't want to be in the rain any more than we did. With a bit of coursing, they were off.
Game and Fish is committed to restoring native species to their home ranges wherever possible, and that includes non-glamorous species like Chiricahua leopard frogs and Gila trout, in addition to charismatic ones like bighorn sheep. That's what we do.
Now, this was the third and final planned release date. However, all the sheep were outfitted with tags and electronic collars. Those collars send a series of 4 updates throughout the day to the Arizona Game and Fish Department so that they can collect research. Those collars usually last for about 2 years, and once the batteries die, the collars simply fall off. In Tucson, Arizona, Julia Thatcher, Cronkite News.
Many small towns and rural parts of Arizona don't have access to fresh produce. It has to be imported from larger cities. The town of Ajo decided to take matters into its own hands. As Angie Schuster reports, the town is planting the seeds for success in their community.
The Get Going, Get Growing 4G initiative in the small town of Ajo helps provide people with healthy and fresh food options, such as this eggplant or pumpkin that can be found in the community gardens. Ajo is a town of 3,300 people in southern Arizona, a town often overlooked by those who drive through it. Get Going, Get Growing, or 4G, has helped plant multiple gardens around Ajo, improving residents' access to locally grown food and promoting healthy eating. Eric Ecker is one of the interns for the program who maintains the gardens.
We got the one supermarket, and then that's pretty much it. So if you want to buy organic and everything, before all this came to be, there was not a lot of options. You had to drive to Phoenix or Tucson or something.
Now this once food desert has grown into an organic food paradise, ripe for the picking.
It's really cool for a lot of people being able to plant stuff and then harvest it and eat it on their own.
The food grown in the community gardens is sold at a local farmer's market,
going to market tomorrow,
donated to the food pantry, and used in the elementary school's cafeteria. Families can also have their own plot to grow on.
Growing it yourself, it tastes better, and you get your hands dirty, and you actually know what you're putting in. You know what kind of seeds, or where they came from, and how to plant it. Nowadays, we don't know where our food comes from.
The interns are paid for their work as part of Ajo's workforce development program.
We have youth that maybe see the only path to success as escaping, getting out of Ajo. And so we're really looking for ways to build the local economy, to encourage entrepreneurs.
I've learned a lot of valuable skills. Maybe if it doesn't come to fruition in a job, it's at least something I know now and something I could do on my own at my own home.
The 4G program is geared towards 16 through 24-year-olds and is designed to help them learn job skills that aren't normally available in Ajo. In Ajo, Angie Schuster, Cronkite News.
The Christmas spirit is alive and well here in the Valley,
especially for those that may need it most.
Instead of feeling kind of down and lonely, you know, it's really brightened my life. It's made me really excited about Christmas time.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how one program is making a difference across generations.
Fridays, it's at Cronkite News, your social sharing connection where you choose the news. Facebook likes and shares, tweets, retweets, and favorites. YouTube views and subscriptions. We're watching you watch us. From our digital home at cronkitenews.azpbs.org to your television, web browser, or mobile device. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Then join us for at Cronkite News, our weekly refresh, each Friday at 5 on Arizona PBS.
The easiest and best way to support Arizona PBS is by becoming a sustaining member. Your monthly contribution of $5 or more comes directly from your bank account or credit card, so you know your membership is always current. It also means no more renewal notices in your mailbox. So more of your dollars go to the programs you love. It's convenient for you, greener for us, and better for the planet. Become a sustaining member today.
Hi, I'm Judy Woodruff, co-anchor of the PBS NewsHour. Preparing the next generation of journalists has never been more important than it is now. With its groundbreaking partnership with Arizona PBS, the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at ASU is revolutionizing journalism education to provide students with a real opportunity to work and learn under the supervision of veteran journalists, producers, directors, and editors on newscasts, investigative stories, and documentary productions. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS, reinventing journalism education in the digital age.
The holidays are a time to spend with your family and friends and celebrate with gifts. But some Valley seniors don't have the means or family to do that. Jesse Schultz found one program that gives those seniors a holiday experience.
Gets a little bit sad. It gets a little lonely during Christmas time.
Rafaela Garcia doesn't have family here in Arizona. She counts on Scottsdale's Adopt a Senior program to lift her spirits during the holidays.
I can't even start to say enough to express my gratitude to them.
Adopt a Senior uses donations to give presents to isolated and low-income seniors.
This is a way of getting the seniors to feel special and to have a holiday that they would normally not have.
People who adopt are given a senior's wish list and asked to get a book of stamps, too. That bundle of goodies arrives via a social worker sometime in December. The seniors are in need of everyday items such as blankets, toothbrush, toothpaste, and even grocery store gift cards make all the difference.
I have eyesight problems, visually impaired, and so this year I am asking for flashlight, bright flashlight.
When Adopt a Senior program first started in 1997, it helped 2 seniors. Now, in 2015, there are 268 seniors signed up. The problem is, the city of Scottsdale still needs about 50 donors to meet that need. Cynthia Salk, Rafaela's social worker, delivers the presents to her each year and knows the difference it makes.
It might not seem like a really big thing for them to do that, but it is a huge gift.
Really brightened my life. It's made me really excited about Christmas time.
And excited about the goodwill and company that comes with it. In Scottsdale, Jesse Schultz, Cronkite News.
The city of Scottsdale is still waiting on about 80 seniors' wish lists. If you would like to adopt a senior, go to scottsdaleaz.gov and look under Senior Services. The deadline for donations is December 1st.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's next on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
Next, after Cronkite News, it's Arizona Horizon. We look at the ethics of attorneys who write books about cases that they've worked on. And rare video from 1961 when the nation's most powerful leaders came to Phoenix to honor an Arizona U.S. Senator.
I'm Gwen Eiffel on the next NewsHour, the latest on the Paris attacks and an investigation into ISIS in Afghanistan. That's Tuesday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.